Guys, it's Carolyn. I am trying to film this before it gets too bright and you can't see my face anymore. I have 3 videos, so I'm going to try to make this quick. The first is my May wrap-up. I can't believe that it's June already, that's crazy. I didn't get as much reading done as I would have liked, which I feel like is the story most months. April was a really great reading month, so I was kind of sad that May wasn't as good, but yeah, I still read a good number of things, and all or most of which I enjoyed. The first thing that I read was Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, and I really liked it. I loved it. I probably like the radio show best, just because that was my first the first adaptation of the story that I ever heard or read, and I just think that it's amazing and can't really be topped. But the book was still really good. Like, the book was a very close second for me, especially because I listened to Neil Gaiman reading it, and his impression of Richard, the main character, was just wonderful, and especially his impression of Richard and Dor in one of the scenes where they're both a little bit intoxicated was wonderful. It was fantastic. So yeah, that was really good. I think I gave that a 4 or 4.5. Probably a 4.5. I think I gave it the same that I gave American Gods. Yeah, so 4.5. And then I started How the Marquis Got His Coat Back, and I don't remember if I started that in April or May, but I didn't actually get a chance to finish it because it turns out the book, like, I wasn't able to finish the short story before the book was due back to the library, but I still finished a good portion of it, and hopefully I will finish it at a later date. I enjoyed what I did read, but it wasn't as enjoyable as Neverwhere itself. And I also read Monarch of the Glen, but I don't remember. I think that was also April. I'm sorry. The end of April and the beginning of May were very mixed together for me, so I can't quite remember some of the things that I read in which month. I read this graphic novel called Abelard, and I'm totally gonna mess up the names of the 2 men that wrote it and illustrated it. They were French, I think, and that was a really cute, sweet story. It's about a duck who, or no, he's not a duck, he's a baby chick, and he meets this other chick who he falls in love with. It's like a love at first sight kind of deal, and he, like, one of the girl chick's friends tells him that if he wants to get her, he's gonna have to make, like, a grand gesture, like getting the moon or something, and Abelard takes that quite literally, so he decides to travel to America, where they have flying machines, so that he can fly up and get the moon or some stars for this other chick. And along the way, he meets this bear called Gaston, who doesn't have as good of a outlook on life. Like, Abelard is very optimistic, and he loves life, and he's happy wherever he is. And Gaston is a cynical bear. He is not quite that way at all, especially because he actually knows the girl who Abelard, or the chick who Abelard falls in love with, and he disagrees with the way Abelard views her. And it was a very intense story, because at first everything was happy and light, and then as the story goes on, things get very deep emotionally, and things get slightly darker, but then the story ends on an uplifting note. So it was just very enjoyable, and the illustrations were gorgeous. So yeah, I quite enjoyed that. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, I think. And I read Sweetness at the Bottom of the Pie by Alan Bradley, which I'm probably gonna do a separate review of, but I don't know how I can really say without giving a lot of stuff away. I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. It was the best mystery book that I've ever read. I just completely loved it, and I'm so excited to continue on with that series. The characters were wonderful, the story was wonderful, the references, the writing was gorgeous. I have no bad things to say, but I don't know how to go into detail about all the good things without giving spoilers. So yeah, I think I'll just leave it at that, and if you guys want more detail, like, let me know down below. But basically, if you love mystery, if you love Sherlock Holmes, if you like really recent history, like this takes place in the year 1950 in England, so that's like super recent, well, not super recent, but it was within the last 100 years. Yeah, so if you like recent history, Sherlock Holmes, you're cool with child protagonists, you like a lot of literary and cultural references, I highly recommend that story. It was wonderful. And then I also read most of Poirot Investigates by Agatha Christie, which is a collection of Poirot short stories. And I have a set of CDs that are narrated by David Suchet, who plays Poirot in the show, and I followed along in an ebook that I got from the library, and that was fantastic. I didn't quite finish it before it was due. I think I still have one disc left, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to listen to the disc by itself without following along for the last few stories. And yeah, so those were really good, and I'll probably do a whole review of those in June, in my wrap-up for June. And I also read some more in this Miss Marple short story collection. I did not finish it like I wanted to, but I am totally planning on finishing this in June. And yeah, the stories that I have read in here, some are really good, some aren't so good. So overall, I think the writing in this will get a very good rating from me, but the individual stories, I'll probably just talk about ones that I really loved, ones I didn't love so much, stuff like that. And I'm trying to think if I read anything else. No, I think that was it for things that I read. Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't read nearly as much as I was hoping to, but I still really enjoyed most of what I did read, and I'm hoping to make up for it in June, but we'll have to see. So yeah, that's what I read in May. Please let me know what you guys think of any of this, and if you want more detail, let me know down in the comments, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.